Hello, everybody. This is the president of your 2023-2024 Gold Chapter, Beta Alpha Psi, New Sigma Chapter, Jack Mitchell. So you may be wondering, why are you seeing me before the meeting? Well, to put it simply, I accidentally forgot to, during the recording, I forgot to include the announcements made at the end of the meeting. So I decided that I'm going to record this now, and I'm going to put it before you see the meeting, so that way you guys know of the announcements that we have right now. And I'm kind of dating myself back to when I was president of WMA Club, when I used to do these intros. They wouldn't remember that. Pat yourself on the back. Okay, so the announcements basically were as follows. So the first one I'm going to mention will be a big one, is the career fair. So this beautiful, poster, it's right there. The career fair is going to be next Tuesday. If you need transportation to the career fair, you must email, and this is going to be on Web Campus, our organization. You must email that email ASAP. Again, they will be from 2:30 to 4:30. Some of the speakers that we've had already, and some that we're going to have in the future, are actually going to be at the career fair. For example, the firm you're going to watch today, Withum, will be at the career fair. And next week's speaker, Deloitte, they will also be there. And we've had some, amazing alumni from BAP actually work at these firms. So it is worth your while. And even if you're a freshman, I highly encourage you to go out and actually practice networking with these professionals. So again, that'll be next Tuesday from 2:30 to 4:30. It will be the Bogota Savings Bank Center, 2:30 to 4:30. For the Forum students, again, there will be transportation from Forum to Metro and Metro back. If you do not want that, you can drive up there. And then for Metro, you guys will basically be up there at Metro. Okay, so that is that. The second announcement, this came from Pat Wire. So I'm going to read exactly from the email that she gave me to tell you guys, as you're going to see this logo pull up right over here. All right, so Signia's DEI, and for those who do not know what DEI is, you could probably watch back in February, we did a DEI workshop. DEI stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. The department is hosting an information session to connect students with current Signia employees in a mentorship role. They're also accepting applications to their operations leadership development program for their internship and full-time roles. Now, I will make note that these opportunities are in Connecticut, but the job postings indicate that there will be housing provided. So if anyone is interested in going to this info session and applying for the program on Web Campus, we will leave, it's already there, the RSVP link for the form link to, sign up for the info session, and then the application links for full-time and internship. They're both going to be on Web Campus. So, and I do know that this does conflict with one of our attendance makeup sessions. So again, if you want to go to this, go at it. If you don't want to go to that, then we do have a makeup event that you go to, our multi-chapter event that we'll be attending on that same day at 5:30. So that is that. So get that out of the way. I loving doing these hand things. I always did that for these WMA meetings I did when I was president. I'm sorry, I'm dating myself back. All right, third announcement. So, as you guys all know, this is the 10th anniversary of Beta Alpha Psi New Sigma Chapter being founded. Now, if anyone does remember, back in the day, if you go way, way back in the archives, like I'm talking 2017, 2015, you might see some videos that either are not in the best of quality, and when I mean quality, I mean video quality, or they were chopped up into parts. So this gave the e-board an amazing idea that I think you guys are all going to love. So starting next month in October, on the first Thursday of every month of the academic year, and this will go on all the way up to the end of the academic year in April for BAP's purposes in April, we'll be doing is having BAP New Sigma Throwback Thursdays. Now, what this is going to be is basically old BAP meetings that are on our YouTube channel that are basically either, like I mentioned earlier, either chopped up in parts or the video quality was not well. And we are going to do is remaster them into 1080p HD, and it will be in a complete entirety. It'll be in one video and not separate. So you guys are probably all wondering which ones were the ones that did get choppy and which ones are going to be remade. So let me do this. What do you know? That actually works. Okay, so on October 3rd, we will be re-releasing our Becker meeting that we had. On the November 7th, we'll be re-releasing our Colin-Resnick meeting. And I will mention this as a fun fact. That Colin-Resnick meeting, I think it was part 1, is our most viewed video on our channel. 2,800 people have watched that. So when we remastered this meeting and we put it back out there on YouTube, I'm hoping we get at least 5,000 views. I don't know how that happened, but I was. And then on November 5th, we'll be re-releasing the Merrill Lynch meeting. Then for the spring semester, on February 6th, we'll be re-releasing the IMA meeting. Then on March 6th, we'll be re-releasing the CBiz meeting. And then finally, as our final Throwback Thursday meeting, we'll be re-releasing the Nisi Vokia meeting, and that'll be on April 3rd of 2025. Now, again, for those of you who are members, again, these are not going to be actual meetings. These are old meetings that were on our YouTube channel, and we are re-releasing them in its entirety in one video, and it'll be in full 1080p HD. So you guys are able to relive some of the great moments and some of the great meetings we had from the last 10 years of New Sigma chapter. All right, so we're going to push that out of the way. Finally, all right, this is the last announcement I have, and then I'm going to send you guys over to our feature presentation, which is going to be the Withum meeting you're going to watch today. So as you guys all known, at our first meeting we announced that we will be building a AI tutor bot to be used during offline tutoring hours. And I hope everyone does remember that. However, based on several tests that we've done with this bot, unfortunately, we are going to have to go back to the drawing board, as it did not spit out the information that we wanted it to be. It basically did what any other GPT bot would do and just give the answer and not lead them to the right answer. So the board and I thought this is the perfect time to introduce this. So as of this moment, we are going to be officially starting a brand new project called BAP AI. This project is going to involve you guys. Yes, you guys are watching this right now and who's at our meetings. We are opening this project up to all FDU Silverman business majors. You could be an undergraduate student, you could be a master's student. It does not matter. It is open to all FDU Silverman business majors. Now, coding and AI experience are not required. However, if you do have it, that'll be a huge plus. So what this project is going to entail is that basically we will be rebuilding our tutor bot, which we are going to be calling New Answers. Get it? New Sigma Answers. Get it? We'll be rebuilding the bot from the ground up. Also, as most of you also know, we do have our Q&A bot. That bot, I'm happy to say, on Web Campus, there is a link. We have posted it officially today. And we are also thinking about redesigning the bot and also building that from the ground up. And potentially making a third bot that I'm not going to reveal what this will be used, but I will say this will be one of our newest initiatives that we'll be doing in the spring of 25 if all goes well. So if anybody at FDU Silverman, you could be on the Forum campus, the Metro campus, and anybody at Vancouver, yes, we're including you guys as well. You guys are FDU after all. If you're interested, you're going to email the head of our BAP AI project, Mr. Andrew Pinabino Jr. So the AP.PIOMBINO@student.fdu.edu. And again, his contact info is on the announcement on web campus if you are interested. Mainly the teams we have right now are going to probably be 5 to 6 people per team. There's going to be 3 teams, so probably we're looking for 18 people. And again, you do not need to have any coding or AI experience. If you do have it, that will be an amazing thing. But obviously, we will give you free resources to have you guys train you guys on how to do coding, how to do Python, how to do HTML, and all this other good stuff. And hopefully I said the right thing because I have no idea how to code. That's why I gave it to Andrew to have you the head of the project. So that is going to be our big project that we'll be doing, and it will be starting right here, right now. Obviously, I will make this notable as well that this bot, the new answer bot, this bot might not be ready for release at the end of the semester. It might not even be ready for the spring of 2025. This project is going to be a big project. And again, we will take as much time as it needs to perfect the bot. So that way we give you guys an amazing product to look at. And again, this would look good on your resume. If you want to do it, look on your resume. And you might also maybe consider coming out for candidacy for Beta Alpha Psi, which finally, I will also say this. We have 2 open slots for our application waive fee deal. As all of you Silverman students know, we are waiving the application fee for the first 10 qualified applicants that want to go for BAP candidacy. And again, if you do not know what the requirements are, go watch our first meeting, the welcome interest meeting, and on web campus, the slides that we presented on that day that state out exactly what the requirements are. And you can also ask our Q&A bot, Informa New. Get it? Information, New Sigma. See? So if you are interested in applying to become a BAP candidate this semester and you do not want to pay any fees, please go to web campus and go under content, and basically it'll be the first thing that comes up on content. It basically will say BAP candidate application. It is also on our website, our Wix website. It is also on our link tree on our social media platforms. The applications are due again on September 25th. And then the last announcement, the club fair at Forum will be next Wednesday from 11:30 to 1:45 p.m. If you know of any Silverman majors who are accounting, finance, MAS, and are interested in learning more about Beta Alpha Psi, please come visit our booth. I will be at the booth along with our Vice President, Gloria Petresco, will be there as well. And we'll happily answer any questions you have about Beta Alpha Psi and Accounting Society. Okay, I think I covered everything. Oh, finally, thank you to those who submitted your reflection papers. Again, if you're watching this, that means you did not come to our meeting in person or virtually. So remember the rule, watch the meeting, write the 1-page reflection paper, and then post it on the discussion board. It is due before our next meeting at 4:30 and not a minute late. Okay, so I hit that. Okay, I have officially hit everything. So with that being said, let's get you guys to the meeting and enjoy listening to Withum.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
All righty. All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another Beta Alpha Psi meeting. Today we have Withum coming in to speak to us today. We have had some of our members in the past who've actually interned with Withum, and some have actually converted that to full-time roles. I can actually say for myself, I did intern with them in tax. Elliot has interned with them as well. So you have a good relationship with them. So again, please give Please give them your undivided attention. Let's ask a lot of questions to make this meeting engaging. And with that being said, I will let you take it away.
Just gotta fix that.
Oh.
All right, can everyone hear me? Wonderful. All right, my name is Trevor Wells. I'm a staff II accountant at Withum. I primarily work in the theater and entertainment niche, and my co-presenter.
Yeah, my name is Christina. I work in Withum in the financial service audit niche. So we audit entities like broker dealers and hedge funds and any other type of fund you can think of.
Yeah, I primarily work with Broadway clients and theaters around the country and stuff like that. And we'll be giving a presentation on why you should consider Withum in your future. All right. Withum at a quick glance. Currently, we're very proud. We have over 2,400 team members. 330 of those are principals, are partners, and we currently have 815 CPAs, which we're very proud about. We're currently always looking for you to strive and get your CPA license. As we see, that's kind of the key to you really succeeding in your future. I know that's something I'm going after at the moment. And revenue growth from inception, we have over 500 million, but really what we like to show off is that you see that very, very small graph at the bottom, that it's continuous growth throughout the years. And at our projections, it's going to continue to grow, continue to offer more opportunities for our associates and so on. And then on the other side, it's the HLB organization. I'll get into that a little bit more. We have a slide for that a little bit later. And then I love maps, and I love this slide especially because within this, most of these offices that you see, especially within Nashville and California and our Indian office, they didn't exist prior to 5 years ago. We're expanding rapidly and bring ourselves across the entire country. India being probably one of the most impressive things that we've accomplished in the last few years. I think we have nearly hundreds and hundreds of employees now, and that office was just opened up 2 years ago. And that really helps us sort of get an efficient take on our work, where I have the ability to start my work in the morning, and then when the time I log off at 5, I can hand over that work to the India staff and they pick it up, and same thing repeats itself over and over again. So it's very efficient and works very well. At the moment, we are the 22nd largest firm inside the US and the 5th largest in the Mid-Atlantic. And sort of our international capabilities. This is what I was talking about with the HLB organization. What that is it's a collection of accounting firms, professional firms, and such, where if, let's say, we have a client come to us and they want a specific service, but we don't feel comfortable in our own capabilities to give that service, or we know of someone who could do it probably even better than ourselves, well, we can refer them to whoever that may be in the specific region they would like to operate in, or in that specific service. And then industry expertise. Industry focus. We have a very wide variety of operations you can work in or specialize in, and it's continuously growing, such as the cannabis industry has been relatively new in the past few years. But really what this shows is that you have plenty of opportunity within Withum. There's no single thing that you have to stay within. Like, for example, I'm a great example of this. I actually joined Withum within the financial services niche, but found that it wasn't really right for me. So I pivoted to a new focus, and that's where I kind of find myself really comfortable and really thriving. And you can do that anywhere within this. You're not stuck anywhere. And then we also offer traditional services, your typical tax and accounting and auditing services, whether it be specialized, such as like PCOB engagements, like SPACs, peer reviews, or R&D tax credits on the tax services. Same exact thing with that. We also offer you can pivot one from the other if you feel yourself starting an audit, and audit maybe not is your thing. You thought it was in college, but you went into the professional world and found otherwise. Yes.
Just interrupt you.
Sure,
We
yeah.
have some CPA. So
Mhm.
could you expand on the technical advisory services?
Oh, well, actually, I have a next slide about that. Right now, that's funny you say that. Next slide is literally about that. So I can go about that. Advisory services is another department that we have within Withum, where it doesn't necessarily have to be about auditing or tax. It can be you meet with the client and you're offering specialty services, like maybe you want to recommend a special software that they want to use, or SOC development programs, cybersecurity risks. I know the cyberware and cybersecurity is very, very, very important right now. And that's something that we're very much expanding on. So you're not stuck in accounting. We're not just an accounting firm. We specialize that in, of course, but you don't need to be an accountant to join with them. We have advisory services you can specialize in and so on. But we don't have a slide on here, unfortunately, but we also do have a department in forensic and valuation, such as like matrimonial affairs, fraud, white collar crime. So if you find yourself interested in sort of the investigation aspect of accounting, that might be something you want to look into. I'm pretty sure at least 2 years ago, FDU offered a class in forensic accounting. So if
Professor here who does the forensic accounting.
it was probably my favorite class in my 4+1 program. So I highly recommend it if you're interested in that sort of stuff. And then please take it away for inclusion and diversity.
Hello. So Withum is also a very inclusive firm. We kind of don't turn anyone away, and we want to make sure that everyone who comes in feels welcome. So we have a bunch of various things. Again, specialty is Excel, not PowerPoint. So we always want to foster a sense of belonging. So we have various programs, we call them team member resource groups. They're basically like, you can think of them as clubs. So these clubs essentially host events for various subsections of people, such as we have a pride group, we have a veterans group, and we have the biggest one is, I think, Women of Withum. But basically they host events that are both for the internal club members and also for the entire office. And also, just to specify, you don't have to necessarily belong to one of those groups in order to join it. Again, we're inclusive, we like diversity, we like it when our coworkers and employees are comfortable enough to express themselves openly within the office. We actually have a coworker that goes down to appearances as well, as long as you're professional. We have a coworker who has bright purple hair, and I love it. But she's had it for like 2 years now, and I hope it never changes. Click the space bar. There it goes. Okay. So our primary goal is we are people first. We have our core pillars, and most businesses, the very first, the number one person is the customer. At Withum, wrong. The number one person is the employee. It's you. That's the number one. So Withum works very hard to retain its employees. They work very hard to make sure that you are, again, comfortable in the office, and that you really feel like you have a support group. We also have recently implemented various groups throughout the offices called culture committees, and their whole job is to come up with fun event ideas for the offices. So in the Whippany office, which is like 10 minutes north of here, we, over busy season, we played a game called Eliminator, which we had snowballs. And have any of you ever played the game Senior Assassin before? For those of you who aren't familiar, Senior Assassin is basically you're assigned a target and you have to get them out. In Senior Assassin, when I played it, we used water pistols. You can understand why that would not be good in an office setting with many computers. So we used these fake snowballs instead, and you had to sneak up on your target and get them I think the prize was like a $500 gift card, if you won, which my friend actually did win. So, so that's the culture committee's whole purpose, is get people together, make the office fun, especially during the stress of busy season. So this is a little bit more information on the TMRGs that I was talking about. So you can see we have Aspire, which is our Asian Pacific Islander group, Black, Disability, OLA, Pride. Pretty much if you can think of it, we have it. And if we don't have it, all you have to do is reach out to the head of our TMRG program, Bill Bradshaw, and he'd certainly be happy to help you get one started. Again, as I mentioned, Women of Withum is probably our largest TMRG, just because about half the firm is women. So they're hosting a lot of very fun events. Their events tend to be a bit more open. I think the latest one that they've been trying to plan is what to do for our fall event. Some of the options included apple picking and wine tastings. So, and they're always open to suggestions. Okay. So the other thing, more onto the event fun side of it, or more fun. Oh, not more fun. The extra stuff we do in addition to accounting, we'll put it that way. One of those 4 pillars I was talking about, first is the employees, second is our customers, third is our community. And we do a lot for our community. Coming up in November, we actually have Withum's Week of Caring, which is basically the firm pays you to take a day and go volunteer at a local charity. So some of the charities, like I did one where we were cleaning up a trailhead. I did another one where we were doing Habitat for Humanity. I know there's also one where you can work with shelter animals. There's another one where it's like a soup kitchen. And there's a whole bunch of other sub charities. I'm trying to think of more of them, but there's literally probably like 20 or 30 of them. And again, if you don't see the charity of your choice on the list, you can always just reach out to your in charge, and they'll be happy to help you get it added to the list. Withum also tends, we also pick one charity to donate to every year as a firm in bulk. The past 2 years, that charity has been the Boys and Girls Club of America. We normally put our Empower class, which is our new hire class, in charge of the fundraising for that charity. So we have, like last year, we did in the Whippany office, we did candygrams. We had like a guessing jar where if you guessed you won a prize, if you guessed the proper amount, you won a prize, and you had to pay like $1 to submit a guess. We also had some bigger events like a cornhole tournament. And my Empower class even managed to convince all of the partners in the office to use foam swords, attach balloons to their head, and duel for charity. And that was incredibly funny, and I'm amazed we convinced them to do it. But it worked, and it did bring in a lot of money for the charity. So more about benefits and incentives. This is the fun part. This is why we're here. So I mentioned before, Withum cares the most about its employees. They care about you first. And their benefits back them on that. You can see just a few. You get bonuses, of course, healthcare, dental, vision, whole 9 yards. They'll do tuition reimbursements, CPA reimbursements, fitness reimbursements. If you're a member of a gym, you can actually submit up to a certain dollar amount, and Withum will reimburse you for it. And we also want to support your personal growth. So we have peer mentorship programs, we have coaching available, and the purpose of those is solely just, are you happy where you are? do you want to change? You might know better than this.
Definitely. All it took was a simple email, be like, hey, I'm not comfortable where I am right now in the company. Can I pivot? I'm really interested in the theater and entertainment niche. And that's all it took. And instantly I was on my way to switching pretty much my entire career. And I don't regret it at all. It was one of the best decisions I ever made. But definitely as someone who's taken advantage of CPA aid and tuition reimbursement, especially tuition reimbursement if you're looking for getting your MBA at Fairleigh Dickinson or your 4+1 program, it helps. It helps a lot. And it's just as simple as putting in a piece of paper.
What is shadow stuff?
So what shadow stock is the ability to, you get a bonus, and we have the ability to defer 50% of that, and that money goes into sort of private stock within the company. It's kind of genuinely directly investing into the company that you work for. I've done it for my last 2 bonuses, and I can say that I'm very happy with that. The company is continuously growing and gaining momentum. So.
Yep, that's pretty cool. They also like to promote a work-life balance. Public accounting is notoriously brutal during busy season. I don't sugarcoat it with anyone. At least in my niche, the past 2 years when busy season hits, we work 60-hour minimum weeks. So it's a lot. But to compensate for that, Withum is extremely flexible about your hours. They're very flexible. I think your starting time is like you get 3 weeks vacation right out of the gate. And you can take up to 4 weeks, little more than that. And then once you hit a certain level, you have flex time. So basically you don't have a set number of PTO days. You can just take off kind of whenever you want. You can work from home. You can work if there's a situation where right now we are asking that people be in office 3 days a week minimum. But if there's a situation where you can't be in office those 3 days, like your car broke down, or I know recently I actually got a concussion and the lights in the office were agitating it. So I had to work from home for like 3 weeks. They are totally fine with that. You just have to explain like, hey, I'm having a problem. Is it okay if I work from home? And I haven't had them tell me no yet. I'll put it that way.
We're very accommodating. I've had times where just because of what was going on in my life, I couldn't work the typical 9 to 5 day. So all it took was just, I had to communicate that and I was able to hop on during the night and stuff like that. It is really just, as long as you communicate, you can build your entire work schedule around what best works for you.
Yep. We have our opportunities, which is
Yeah, everything that's coming up. We have entry-level staff accountants. Usually we ask that, you're going for your bachelor's degree in accounting. We typically want to look for that you're interested in pursuing your CPA license and the 150 credits that it goes along with that, but that is not a must. It just helps you along the way. Other than that, tax season internships, which what office did you internship at?
You did tax verification.
Awesome, sweet, yeah. So I was not a tax season intern. I was actually a summer internship. They're a lot different, but plenty of opportunities there. Usually we like to figure out the internships typically a year to 9 months in advance. And yeah, other opportunities as well as that. We've also had internships in marketing, as well as the advisory program, the forensics program. It doesn't have to be accounting based, but with those specific ones, typically they're only around a certain set time within a year. I can't figure it right off my back, but it is on our website when those would be available. And I believe Handshake, if FDU still utilizes Handshake.
I think that's about it. If you're interested in seeing what opportunities we currently have available, scan that QR code. It'll take you right to our website. And that's, I think, the end of our presentation. So do any of you have any questions online too? Feel free to unmute yourselves and type it.
Questions, guys?
What's
Yeah,
up?
Trevor, you said you were doing your CPA right now.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that right now as well. How is, your work-life balance between, your job and then studying for CPA in the meantime? And how are you gonna like, I guess, work that out once you go into busy season?
Yeah, I got you. So I'm nearly done with it, and I've heard a lot of horror stories about it. I'm actually pretty happy with my work-life balance right now. I do theater at the side as like a hobby outside of my work. So I've been able to perform in shows while working and while studying, and I haven't had an issue. Withum's very accommodating to that. And luckily also in my specific job, my busy season's different than the typical busy season throughout the year, whereas usually it's the sort of the February through April thing. I have it in different sections of the year, but I would say it's very, very manageable. We're very accommodating. We want you to succeed. We want to help you through it, and we're there for you in the end. Just take it from someone who's nearly done and has gotten through it. Yeah, of course.
Do most people come in starting already having passed one part of the exam? would
No.
you say?
No, I would say that's rare. I've seen that a few times. I'm jealous. I wish I did that.
You
Um,
get a very nice bonus if you start off having.
Yeah.
Yay.
That is,
I'll put that in there too.
Yeah, very, very generous bonus that actually just last month got increased again.
Mhm.
With were you to pass all 4 parts within, I believe, 6 months of graduating from your bachelor's degree. But no, it's recommended. It would be to help you a lot, but especially the best support would do is when you start your job and stuff like that, because when you start your entrance level, the expectations are at the floor. We don't expect you to know anything. We don't expect you to remember what you last took in your class. We're there to help you along the way as if you didn't even know what a debit or a credit is. But that being said, we'll get you there. We'll help you whatever you need to do, especially with even with the CPA exam.
And I can also speak to, when I first started, I was still finishing out my master's. I did a 4+1 at my college. And I was in the +1 part of that. And it was my first ever busy season. And I had, I think, 2 or 3 graduate courses on top of that I was doing. And with them pretty much bent over backwards to accommodate my schedule. If I had an exam or if I had a paper that was due, all I had to say was, hey, like, I know we're in the height of busy season, but I have this paper, I just need a day to focus on it, blast it out. They said, okay, no problem. We'll get someone on your job. Like, we'll cover it. Go like take off and enjoy and like focus on your paper. Do what you have to. So they'll do, as long as you communicate what you need, tell them what you need, they'll make it work. And the same applies for the CPA exams. Often people will take a full day, the day of their exam. There are some people that will take a couple days leading up to their exam to like crunch and study, and really, really focus on it. And they encourage that. They don't phrase it as like you're inconveniencing them when you say, hey, I need to focus on this. They say, you got it.
Yeah, so my next exam is the 23rd of September, and I've taken off for that. It doesn't go against my PTO, it doesn't go against me at all. It's just, go ahead, go take the exam, focus on that. You're off from work. Any other questions?
Anybody in Metro, anyone online?
I do.
Yeah.
What would you say makes a successful first few years? What sort of attitude or what sort of person is going to be successful?
Communication, always. Just talk to your in-charges, talk to your peers, talk to the partner that's on your job, talk to everybody, just let them know where you're at. Ask what the expectations are for you, like, hey, I think I should spend this much time on this piece of work. Would you concur with that? How do you think I should go about this? Like I said, we really do treat you as if you coming in, you don't even know anything. So the best way to get you up to standards and get you accommodated to the professional world is communication. Really, really. And let us know who you actually are. Talk about yourself. Honestly, it doesn't all have to be about work. That's the best part about working in my niche is that we're all friends because we all actually talk to each other. We've communicated in that, and it makes the job a lot better.
Yep. I'll also add on, like, you do need a work ethic, but we're assuming that if you're going into public accounting, you already have that. So it's the work ethic, and also be honest about what you don't know. Like, there is nothing more frustrating. Again, we assume that you know nothing at all. So there's kind of nothing that slows a job down worse than a staff who doesn't know what they're doing, but is too afraid to say, hey, I need help with this. Because then we just have to go back and fix it, and that no one likes that. So kind of builds back into like the communication piece. Be honest about what you know, what you don't know. If you're struggling, raise a hand and say, hey, like, I'm drowning here. And it's not your responsibility to get yourself out of the fact that you're drowning. Let the in-charges come in and save you, because they will, especially in my niche. In my niche, that happens rather frequently, where you have a bunch of jobs that hit. I don't know how, are any of you familiar with what a SPAC is? Do you know what that stands for? All right, so SPAC is a special purpose acquisition corporation. Their whole thing is they're basically a shell corporation. They wait and they find a business that they want, a private company that they want to merge with, and a private company that's looking to go public. They merge with it, and then they are no longer SPAC and they turn into whatever other entity they just acquired. They often have rushed filings. So they'll have, there will be one that like starts up and they'll say, hey, we need an audit done, or not an audit, but like, we need this, we need a consent done. We need a review done. So it's basically, I'm realizing I'm using jargon. Basically consents and reviews are shorter versions of an audit. It's basically us looking for any glaringly obvious errors. They don't have as much confidence as an audit, but a lot of times those consents and reviews for our SPACs, they'll say, hey, we need this by the end of the week. So they're really fast turnaround times, and sometimes they hit all at once. So if you're drowning like that, you're in charge will know when you tell them, like, hey, I'm drowning, and they'll figure out a schedule to maybe get some more people on some of your jobs or take some of those SPACs off your plate. So.
I got one. So why did you guys choose Withum? Did you intern there previously, or?
I think this adheres to that question a lot. I wasn't supposed to work at Withum. I had accepted a separate job offer, and I interned at Withum a few months before I was supposed to start there, and I loved it so much that I pivoted at the last second and joined Withum. It really honestly came down to two things. One, that feeders my whole life, and that I could work in feeder was an opportunity I could not get rid of, and also the fact that everyone was so open. You know, every single office door is open all the time. In every office, you can go up to a partner and just start a conversation. Everyone's willing to be your friend, and it just was a work environment that I knew could mesh really well with my personal life, and I couldn't let that go.
My story's a little different. I actually didn't intern at Withum. Withum was actually recommended to me by someone that I knew. And she works, it was one of my friend's mothers, and she works in life insurance. And she was talking to me the one day, and she was like, and I was telling her, you know, I was trying for the Big Four, and I was trying for all these other firms. And she said, have you seen this one? And I said, no, why? And she said, well, let me put it this way. I work a lot with all those other firms. Withum has by far the nicest and most professional people I've ever dealt with. And they have people that have been happy there for over 10 years, more so than any other firm I've ever dealt with. And I said, well, that sounds good. So I applied and got the interview and got the job. So.
You talked about in charges. It's the team leader.
Yeah, of that prospective job.
What are the various levels of how big are your teams?
It depends on the job. I know financial services teams are typically larger, depending on if it's a entity, but respectively something for maybe, let's say I'm auditing Six the Musical or Sweeney Todd or something like that. It will be maybe a staff accountant like myself, then you'll have directly your in charge. They're heading up the entire audit. And then after that, you'll have the partner or the senior manager. But that's actually quite bare bones. I've been in jobs back when I was in financial services where there was myself and 2 other staff, and then there were 2 seniors. Then there was an in charge, a supervisor above them. So it can get very, very lengthy. But all that really comes down to is that there just needs to be levels of communication, just talking back and forth. Here's where I am with my sections. Here's where I'm at my work. Here's where I am with stuck. I have questions. As long as you do that, you're gonna swim.
I think financial services probably has the most variance in as far as job sizes are concerned. I've had some audits where it's just me as a staff and then a principal and a partner, and that's it. I'm currently actually on a job where we have a staff 1, a staff 2, which is myself, a senior, a supervisor, a senior manager, and then the partner. And that job is a monster of a job, so.
And if you're wondering how long it takes to typically get to maybe the senior position or anything like that, you'll start staff 1 and staff 2 is a year and a half. And then you really, it's just from when you start, pretty much 2 years and you could be a senior. We very much lay out what it takes for you to get promoted. It's there in black and white. As long as you hit that, you know you're on a steady projection to be manager, partner, however far you want to go.
We actually do, we have an entire file in one of our internal web pages that specifies exactly what
I was
you-
staring at it yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, like exactly like what benchmarks you should be hitting, exactly what things you should be looking to start doing. And I think they also actually just changed, if you have your CPA coming in, I think you can start off as a staff too. I think they just switched that. You don't have to do one full busy season before you can be promoted to staff too.
All reasons why I wish I started my CPA earlier.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
pretty much. Get your CPA, it's important. You reward it very heavily.
Any other questions? Well, if I will be here actually next week on the career fair for Withum, if you'd like to stop by and chat some more, if you think about questions, or if you want to hand over your resume, that goes for accounting people and non-accounting people. Again, we take it all, we consider it all. We have plenty of opportunities for everybody. So if you'd like to stop by and chat, by all means, I'll be there.
Thank you very much.
Just think we did that presentation record.
Oh, well, I mean, you should have seen last semester's presentation. It was double the length. Yeah, if you remember that, yeah. We like chopped this in half.
People here, so.
But thank you guys very much for stopping by and listening.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
it.
And if you want, we have some, please take them. If you don't take them, they're just gonna go in the back of my car for me to continuously use them.
And don't be shy, I know they're all still like bundled up, but open them, rip them open.
So will I fall again?